Back on the ramp, and I thought I'd start with the inside and basic stuff. Steering wheel. So, whatever model you've got, various different steering wheels of course, but all I can show you is what I've got. Defender, one screw through the bottom into that hole, holds the cover on. So I take that off. And then, I've already done some prep work. You've got a big 22mm nut there. When you undo, I have cracked the steering wheel off, but it did take the use of a hammer, which you probably will have to do on most of them, because they're wedged on splines and a cone. Loosen the nut, put the nut back down so it protects the top of the thread. I know I've said this on every DVD, because there's nothing worse than burring the top of the thread over. And then what I did was put my feet up against the side, pull the steering wheel up, and crack the nut. And that broke the joint on the taper, broke the seal on the taper, made the steering wheel come loose. So the nut can come off, and there is no damage to the thread. Right, come here and have a look. Little details you've got to watch for when you're putting it back together. There's the splines and there's the cone that it gets wedged on. So if you're changing the steering wheel, you've got to make sure you get the specific one for this. Two little splines there, little teeth. I'll show you them in a second. Now, there is a few crosshead screws underneath. And what I've done is I've pulled the rubber seals out the side of the plastic casing. Undo. Make sure you've got the key in the ignition as well. And there are several of these. Hold the top to the bottom and hold the bottom casing to the bracket here. This one's got one of them security things in it, which is not a standard thing. But that's why that's not off completely. Otherwise that would be off. Right, so you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, and the rubbers, and then make sure your key's out, slide it off, and the top one just jiggles off like that. So while that's off, that could have a nice clean, couldn't it? Come up like the inside. Right, okay, that's that. Now, there's one little screw, if you have a look over here. On the top there, it's like a pinch screw, and that is actually broken on this one. So I'll pull it off to show you. Helicopter going across today. Right, that's snapped. I'll show you what that does in a second. Around here, have a look. It's supposed to be part of that. And what that does is just pinch around the top of the steering column to hold your stalks in place. Just bearing the top of that's alright. Not going to go as far as changing that, but if you need to change your stalks, you can see here, 1, 2, holds this big unit on the side, the switch on the side of the bracket. And where's the other screws? Another 2 screws there. Yeah, another 2 screws there that hold the indicator and the main beam flasher on. You can see all the connectors on the back touching and working. A little switch. Yeah, here's the headlight switch on the Defender. It's held on there with you get a big pair of pliers on that and undo that little nut, and the switch will come out. And the same with the fog light switch. Little nut on the back, and they're all plugged together here in multi-plugs. Then it doesn't look like you can get wrong because they're all different. So that is how you would change the top half. Next few screws, dash and your clocks. Come and have a closer look. One screw there, one screw there, and directly opposite there's another 2 screws, and that allows you. I should point out that I haven't disconnected the battery, but if you're doing this at home, it's a very good idea to disconnect the battery, otherwise this is all live, and if it's your first time, you don't know what you're doing, you might end up shorting something out. Right, okay, I've already disconnected the speedo so I can pull it right out and show you, but this is how you change your speedo cable as well. It's all part of this getting a bit involved in here for being part of the steering DVD, but as it has to come off, those two sides there just get pinched. Pinch the two sides, and it releases the two little hooks that sit in that groove, and out comes your cable, giving you loads of room to hook the dash up out of the way if you need to, and get to whatever you want. Right, okay.